marking into the right-hander. He always identifies the wicket, how he should bowl to a particular wicket. In Nepali wickets, in TU wickets, you can bowl a bit slower through the air. Very good ball. The ball drifting in. There's a signal by the umpire that was involved.
Scotty Edwards is questioning that. I'm not sure whether there was. For me, that's hit the front pad first. It's then gone on to the back elbow. He's a long way forward, so I actually don't mind the decision. I think it's probably a good decision to give it not out, but there was not bad involved. Sheikh under pressure, being challenged with the one that skids on with that new ball. Not challenging the outside edge, but the inner. Lucky to survive. This time he gets it full enough to get off the mark, just tickled into the leg side. So 2 singles come from Van der Merwe's first over. It's 3 for none. Well, we're expecting a big crowd today. It's a Sunday, it is a work day here in the Kathmandu Valley, but Nepal's ardent fans are so aware of the importance of today's contest. Yes, there's a long way to go in Cricket World Cup League 2. The last thing you want to do is win just 1 from 4 on home soil in conditions that should be helping you. Namibia, they were delighted with their 3 wins from 4. Whoever loses today will only have 1 from 4. Good leave. Strong leave from Asif Sheikh. Kingma, 3 for the other day against Namibia. The first one was a juggling one, then a good caught and bowled of Michael van Lingen. And then running through number 11. Great to watch Vivian Kingma.
Yes, he's a treat to watch. A good medium pacer, a natural outswinger. He bowls at a perfect line and length. Forward defensive by Asif Sheikh. Again, you can see his bowling back of the length. He doesn't have that express pace, but the line and length is pretty much good.
Yeah, one of the big things the Dutch boys that I spoke to after the game on Friday were talking about was they felt as though their bowlers went searching in helpful conditions. Something Van der Merwe was saying he so admired and respected about Bernard Scholz's spell. He was patient. Didn't actually take a wicket in his first 7 overs. And they held 2 up the sleeve and he got 2, including Van der Merwe LBW. It's almost a game of patience from both sides today. The Dutch being patient to try and outlast what can be aggression at the start from Nepal. If you look at the series so far, those with the highest strike rates batting, 2 of them are at the crease. Kushal Bertel striking 160, Anil Shah 147, Asif Sheikh at 96. Today they've clearly been sent out with a different intent, told to take their time, told to keep 10 wickets in hand as long as is possible. See off that movement that Kingma gets squared up Sheikh this time.
Yes, that was pitched around leg stump, ball swinging away from the right-hander Asif Sheikh. Squared Asif Sheikh, getting the leading edge of the ball rolling towards the ground. Yeah, this is a good start by Netherlands bowlers Vivian Kingma and Roelof van der Merwe. Taking the second new ball as expected. Squared Asif Sheikh. A bit of a misfield there at short extra cover.
Yeah, definitely the brightest morning we've had in terms of sunshine. Just wonder will that heat aid. The pitch was so cold at 7, 8 a.m. this morning. As Kingma goes searching, exactly what the Dutch don't want to be doing. He apologises why it'll be signalled. Been very tricky conditions for a few reasons. There's been a lot of cricket here at the TU. The weather is unseasonably cold though, isn't it? It really is.
Yes, you can never predict weather in Kathmandu. Last year, at the same time, February, it was so warm like spring. It was a bit warm early in the series, but after the rain came down, it was a very gloomy day, the game against Nepal and Namibia.
Clipped around the corner, gets it fine and gets 4. Kingma won't be happy with that line again. And Asif Sheikh gets some reward for his patient start.
Yeah, going for that glory delivery bowling, trying to bowl that in swinger, getting the line wrong. Asif Sheikh, absolutely perfect. Played it very fine towards fine leg for a boundary. This is what Asif Sheikh can do when you are under pressure, batting first. He takes his time. He doesn't go after the bowling, just waits for the ball to come to him, play to the merit of the ball.
Again down the leg side, Kingma. Well, look, he cuts almost a disconsolate figure. The third apology from 3 consecutive deliveries. He knows he's not completing his action. Thinks a lot technically about his game. The wrist just getting behind the left of the ball. And as a consequence, another freebie down the leg side.
He just wants to mix the in swing, the natural outswing that he has. That is why the wrist just falls down. The wrist position just falls down and the ball ends up on the leg side of the right-hander. He has to do what is best, bowl an outswinger.
Yeah, and bring that slip into play. The slip is there for a reason. Vikram Singh. Much better. Even though a little bit wider outside the off stump. It's a dot ball to close out the third. Nepal 9 for none.
Van der Merwe to continue. Swept away, very fine. Ball rolling towards the boundary. Very good effort in the deep. Surely saved 2 runs for his team. That was excellently played by Burtel. Swept it behind square. Michael Levitt diving to his right, stopping the ball to get to the boundary. Surely saved 2 runs for his team.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a couple of contrasting approaches here against Van der Merwe. Bertel loves to sweep. And you're right, Levitt does well, doesn't he? Because it's quite a hard outfield with the apart from that one day's heavy rain. We haven't had much, so it's a bit bobbly, the outfield, and he definitely saves runs. Some of the gathered VIPs we see Roshan Kumar Singh, the Vice President of the Cricket Association of Nepal, and just in the shadow there, also the President himself, Chatur Bahadur. Paresh, good start for Nepal this, but it doesn't matter if they lose early wickets. If they, let's say, get to 50 for 2 after 10, they'd almost rather 30 for none.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. They can be 30 for none after 10 rather than being 50 for 2, because 2 wickets are very important. Getting that inside edge. No, says Kushal Patel. It's a decent start for Nepal. 12 for no loss in the 4th over.
And certainly, Sheikh looks a little less comfortable against Van der Merwe than Bertel does. So this might be the matchup that the Dutch have identified early. Does well this time, shorter in length. Should see a really good crowd, a good atmosphere. For Nepal to be happy with this series, they have to win today, Paresh.
Yeah, they'll surely have to win just to stay 50-50, like I said. 2 wins out of 4. optimistic appeal. We always see that by Van der Merwe appealing for every delivery that hits a pad. Nepal 13 for no loss. After for Nepal 13 for no loss, a decent start for both the teams. Vivian Kingma, he was a bit erratic the last over that he bowled. The three balls that he bowled down the leg side, two wides and a boundary.
It's a pickup shot into the leg side. He goes aerial, and he's going to get good reward. It's a maximum to Asif Sheikh. A lovely flick off his legs.
Yeah, we've seen this shot by Asif Sheikh earlier in the series, playing against Netherlands as well, against Vivian Kingma and Klein this time around on the pads. Nice pickup shot down to square leg for a six. Asif Sheikh getting his confidence back. The last score that he made was 50 runs against Namibia, and before that, unbeaten 50 against Netherlands. Back-to-back 50s for Asif Sheikh in the last two innings. In this series, moves to 12 or 14. Nepal 19 for no loss in the fifth.
Yeah, certainly, it's a pleasing start. It's only less than 20 minutes into the beginning of play, but I think Nepal will be happy with this. The slip now comes out. That's a much better length and indeed line. But I like the way that Bertel and Sheikh have mixed aggression with real caution.
Yes, Burtel, a bit of an aggressor himself. And Asif Sheikh, a cautious batter, a cautious starter. Whenever the ball is loose, they'll go for it. Whenever the ball is bowled well in the right areas, he'll just defend it. It's a good pair to have in your team. One aggressive batsman and the other one cautious.
Talk about having the building blocks to succeed in the international game. Obviously right now both Nepal and the Netherlands don't play any first class or red ball multi-day cricket at the moment for now. There's been a few whispers of maybe an ICC Intercontinental Cup in some format coming back, maybe even with a couple of the lower ranked test stations. The likes of Ireland and Zimbabwe don't get to play a lot of test cricket. So this is the longest version of the game as of right now the leading associates play. So the building blocks of your technique, your basics, allow you to succeed in this version when the conditions are difficult. Of course, we all love watching Kushal Bertel and Kushal Mala smash big sixes in the T20 game. But you talk about the importance of your technique and trusting that technique. And both of the Sheikh brothers, really, you'd look at those two maybe alongside Rohit Paudel as having some of the best techniques in this Nepal batting lineup.
Yes, the last time Nepal played red ball cricket was in the year 2006. It is a long, long way back.
Oh, I suspect you're going to tell me something here, Paresh. I can almost envisage it. A certain P. Lahani walking to the middle. Oh, bold. Beats the outside edge. Were you part of that team in '06?
Yes, I was. That is why I brought it out.
Who was that against? That wasn't Intercontinental Cup, was it? No.
Yeah, some of the games were Intercontinental Cup, but it was called the ACC Premier League. Five top associate teams in Asia played a 3-day game against each other in a calendar year.
Yeah, the Intercontinental Cup first started in 2004 and finished up in 2017. Well bowled. Nepal did appear in 3 editions of it, but the last 4 they did not compete. We'll come back to that. 5 have been bowled. It's 19 for them. Well, taking a trip down memory lane with Paresh Lahani here, talking about Nepal's appearances in the ICC Intercontinental Cup, the now discontinued competition. Just the 2 appearances back in 2004 and 2005. There was also a challenge match in 06 that they needed to win to get through to the Intercontinental Cup, but that was drawn, and as a consequence Nepal didn't get into that edition. Something that I think many would love to see come back. Change in bowling. Going to see Vikram Singh with his medium pacers into the attack. A lot of movement. Bertel has a slash at it. Too much movement wide outside the off stump. Good sign this for Nepal. Matt van der Merwe taken out of the attack after just 2 overs.
Yeah, good sign for Nepal, and Kushal Patel again trying to slash that outside the off stump. Almost getting that edge down to the keeper. But lucky for Patel, it didn't get the edge wide given. Whenever Patel sees the ball outside the off stump, he just goes for the slash. He has to be patient, be cautious.
He's a bit more than a part-time bowler, Vikram Singh. He certainly is a huge young talent. He's someone who came through the mentorship of the former Dutch captain Peter Barron at the VRA club, one of the main grounds there, and it's actually in Amstelveen, which is just outside Amsterdam. Beautiful venue. We saw the Netherlands play England in the Cricket World Cup Super League there with, well, the best part of 10,000 mainly Barmy Army fans coming across and creating a brilliant atmosphere in some very high scoring contests. He's got 7 ODI wickets to his name, but his economy rate is more than a run a ball, so he will give you the occasional loose delivery. Are you surprised to see just one frontline seamer in the Dutch team in the shape of Vivian Kingma? I know they've got Taleda and Vikram Singh.
Yeah, whenever you have good all-rounders in your team, you don't need frontline seamers. You have Vivian Kingma, who's taken 3 wickets in the last game against Namibia. Klein left out today. And Vikramjit Singh is not bad with the pace. He's much quicker than Vivian Kingma. It's just about bowling a good stump-to-stump line and length.
Full driven down the ground. He holds the pose, and Aryan Dutt dives over the top of it. Well, that's a nice shot, isn't it? It's Asif Sheikh, the aggressor this morning, overpitched and punished, put away.
Elegance written all over it. And look at the pose held by Asif Sheikh. Bowler's back drive, showing them back manufacturer to the bowler. A valiant effort had been on, but couldn't stop the ball. Elegant by Asif Sheikh. Back to length, good comeback delivery by Vikramjit Singh. Yeah, he has that pace, a yard or 2 pace ahead of Vivian Kingma. It's just about bowling the right areas.
Both still medium pace, though. There's nothing to fear there, is there, for either Asif Sheikh or Kushal Bertel? You think about the pedigree and the quality of Dutch fast bowlers all through the years. They used to have plenty go across to county cricket in the 1980s and 1990s. Andre van Troost was talked about as maybe one of the fastest of all time down in Somerset. You think about the modern pace battery they have, the likes of Fred Klassen, Tim van der Hoogten, Shane Snater, Brandon Glover, Logan van Beek. None of them are here right now. We'll see it for the T20s, the return of Fred Klassen, the tall left armour, and Tim van der Hoogten come back in too. Just surprises me. I adore Vivian Kingma, he's a great bowler. Surprises me that a Dutch side is only putting out one full-time seamer and then the two part-timers in Deleda, well, all-rounders in Deleda and Singh. 6 have been bowled, 25 for them. A really pleasing start. I suspect Monty Desai, watching his two openers from the sideline, will be very, very happy because they haven't really taken a risk yet, have they? Put away a couple of bad balls and they've defended and batted with real caution.
Yes, they don't have to take any risk because runs are flowing. Asif Sheikh in a good nick. He scored back-to-back 50s in the last 2 games. Kushal Bhurtel had a very good start against Netherlands, scoring 28 of 11. It's just about staying there in the wicket, just seeing off the new ball. Just to remind you that 2 new balls are being taken in every one-day international these days.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. We often think of ODI cricket, we think of that first power play. Certainly historically, a decade ago, when it was just 1 new ball, that was the time to bat. Smash it around as much as you can in the first 10. We'd see 70, 80 runs sometimes in flat conditions in those first 10. With the 2 new balls post the 2015 World Cup, and that's come in with the change in playing conditions, it's kind of balanced the field a bit. It's meant that there's a real place for an opener like a Karunaratne of Sri Lanka, who had such a good qualifier. Like someone like Paul Sterling of Ireland, his game has evolved and changed significantly with the 2 new balls in play. The dashers, the likes of Jason Roy and Alex Hales, have struggled a bit with those 2 new balls, not quite being the same. Obviously, if you get very flat surfaces, it's a bit different. But there's now a place for an opener to be 25 off 40 and then turn that into 120 off 100 balls. Because they're able to catch up through those middle overs with the power that they have, and then only 4 fielders out during the second power play. This is the template. You almost have to piece together your innings. It's a little bit more old-fashioned, particularly when the conditions are favouring the bowler like they have done throughout this series.
Yeah, when in 90s when only 1 new ball was taken in the 50 overs, the likes of Jayasuriya and Kalabutara, they did bulk of the scoring and top of the order in the first 15 overs. And even now, the hitman from India, Rohit Sharma, he utilizes the 2 new balls in effect in the first power play, the 10 overs. That is why he's called the hitman.
Very nice drive, but Vivian Kingma does his best Cruyff or Van Persie impersonation and side foots it to probably save 3 runs. It goes wide of the mid-off fielder.
Yeah, he puts his boot out in the play. That's Jack Kingma, the father of Vivian Kingma, a proud father watching his son in action.
Yeah, Jack Kingma was pleased with his son's effort the other day, but not the team's defeat. There he is, Robin Van Persie, just opening the boot. Three singles from the over, 7 have been bowled. It's intriguing stuff thus far this morning. 28 for none. Crowds really starting to flood in. They've heard the news that Nepal have been inserted to bat. They've heard the news that they've got off to a good start too. They'll be dreaming of a second win. I'll take you back to the previous edition of Cricket World Cup League 2. Obviously the much storied run of Nepal's 11 wins from 12 to firstly preserve their ODI status, but also take the third and final automatic qualification spot down for Zimbabwe was, well, it was just a miraculous, spectacular, so special run that caught the attention of the wider cricketing world. But if we look at the competition as a whole, I know there were 7 teams rather than 8. That's the big difference into this second edition. It's clipped around the corner, beats the man in the circle and beats the man in the deep too. The wrong line from Vikram Singh, and Bertel gets a boundary to get to double figures.
This is what we were talking about. Vikramjit Singh, just a part-time bowler, and all around he has to be very precise with his line and length. Bowling to the pads of Kushal Burtel, getting the placement right. The final fielder was inside the 30-yard circle. There was a deep square leg in front of square. That is why he got the gap to perfection, getting a boundary.
Now width on offer, and Bertel, he cashes in. This is gentle medium pace, and Bertel says he's seen enough. Takes the aerial route, back-to-back boundaries. Nepal getting on top.
Yeah, the aggressor starting to unfold here. Back-to-back boundaries for Kushal Burtel. Half volley outside the off stump, played it on the up over the cover point fielder for a boundary. Now Vikramjit Singh under immense pressure. Back-to-back boundaries of his second and the third ball of this over.
And driven with real precision. That may be the shot of the morning. 3 consecutive fours. Bang, bang, bang goes Kushal Bertel.
Yeah, this is the best of the lot. Look at that shot. Beautifully done by Kushal Burtel. Right on top of the ball. Getting the gap to perfection again. All along the ground, down to covers for a boundary. This was a delight to the eyes.
Now a full toss. Bertel can't pierce the 30-yard circle this time. I was going to ask you about that last cycle, Paresh. You talk about Scotland winning that league as we look at that glorious cover drive from Bertel. They lost 10 games with 2 non-results. On top of the table still. If we take out Papua New Guinea, I don't think anyone in this cycle will lose 30 of their 36. I think it'll be more competitive. And poor old PNG, they only got to host 1 series because of the COVID pandemic and how badly that ravaged things. If you can win more games than you lose, I think you'll finish in the top 4. And that is what makes today so important as they get through for a single to round out what is a brilliant over for Nepal. 13 have come from it. It's 41 for none.
The spectators are coming in numbers, even though it's a working day. Cricket has been a religion to Nepal. This was a very good stop behind point, driving to his right. Surely stopped 2 runs for his team.
put down. Not easy, but a definite chance to Kingma's left. And he knows it too. You sense the Dutch need something to change the momentum. It's to his weaker side. It's not easy, but it goes to ground.
Yeah, that was middle of the bat. It went very quick to the bowler. He got a hand to it, but got the wrist in place of palms. It can be a costly drop for the Netherlands. Vivian Kingma dropping Kushal Burtel on 21.
There's no need for Burtel to go after every ball. They're on top right now, Nepal. That's better. Take your time. Nobody's batted 50 overs yet. If Nepal do that, I think whatever total they get, I think it will be a winning one.
Yes, definitely it will be a winning one. Again, look at the drop. Yes, it's got the wrist in place of palm. A diving effort by Vivian Kingma off his own bowling. Kushal Burtel getting a lucky escape. No, it's not necessary for Burtel to go after the bowling every ball. He's got 3 boundaries, consecutive ones against Vikramjit Singh in the last over. No, just calm yourself, play yourself down.
Chipped in the air, and just like that, there is the first wicket. It's the tamest of dismissals. It's a simple catch for Baz Delaida. It's come from nowhere, really. And Asif Sheikh will be devastatingly disappointed with that one because, well, it's very limp, it's very soft, and it's an easy catch.
Yes, again, soft dismissal for Asif Sheikh. I think the ball held a little back to the batsman. Baz Delaida, the catcher in that occasion. Asif Sheikh playing a handy knock of 17, has to depart. Nepal 42 for 1. Daniel Shah is the new batsman in for Nepal at number 3. He has a 50 under his belt, an unbeaten 50 against the same team, Netherlands. In the first game, they played each other. Now, the first wicket, the opening partnership was broken by Vivian Kingma on the 9th over. So now it's going to be these two batters to hold the innings to build up another partnership for the next 10 overs.
Again, I think they're just going to reflect upon this dismissal and say there's no need, hit it along the ground. A couple of Dutch fans in today, and they like that. And for Sa, we've seen his aggression, we've seen his high strike rates in this sort of third chance really in the international game for him. It's not what's needed, it needs to bat some time alongside Kushal Burtel.
Yeah, the last shot that Asif Sheikh played, it was not necessary to hit it up in the air. He could have just played all along the ground. It's much easier for us to stay up here and say that. It's a completely different story down there. Anil Shah scored a blistering 50 against Netherlands in the first game. Trying to leave that.
He has to be careful, has to sort of check that natural aggression. We saw 5, if not 6 of the dismissals against Namibia 4 days ago for Nepal really being the batter's faults. And Kushal Malla, Rohit Paudel, Dipender Singh Airi, Sampal Kami will all reflect upon poor decisions in terms of their shot selection. And then Anil Shah's dismissal was very limp. He just chipped it up, didn't need to cover. He'll want to make amends for that today and not do what Asif Sheikh did just a few deliveries ago. It's a really good over from Vivian Kingma. Great credit to the Dutchman. He's fought hard throughout the series. It's 42 for 1. Scott Edwards, the Dutch captain today. A bit of a landmark for him that we actually missed one landmark 2 days ago, his 50th ODIs, so I want to give him a special mention for that, the 27-year-old. But also, today he ties Peter Barron's record for captaining the Netherlands in the most ODIs. Goes level with the VRA player Peter Barron, 31 ODIs as captain. Scott Edwards has done those 31 ODIs as the captain in just 20 months, less than 2 years. As Bertel sweeps in front to square. Will be a good challenge for Levitt out in the deep. He does very well. He's generally captained very nicely as well. He's sort of grown into the role, but it's his batting that has impressed the most. 15 50-plus scores in just 47 innings. Good numbers.
Yes, those are very good numbers by Scott Edwards. Again, the boundary rider, Levitt, doing a good job for his team. Kushal Burtel sweeping that ball from outside the off stump, covering the whole 3 stumps, getting his pads outside the off stump.
And immediately, as soon as the breakthrough's made, they go back to Van der Merwe for his 3rd over. You get a feeling that the 20 overs of primary spin, I know there's other spin options like some Maxodades, leg breaks. We saw Cybrand Engelbrecht bowl some part-time off breaks the other day too. Swept in the air, and it's not going to carry well. Almost no control there from Anil Shah. A very fortunate way to get off the mark.
Yes, that was very fortunate by Anil Shah getting the top edge. He slipped while going down on his knees, getting that top edge, almost carrying to the boundary rider, Michael Levitt. 1 bounce. Punch off the back foot by Kushal Burtel. This is a proving over from Roelof van der Merwe, the experienced guy. The bulldog, as you call.
Doesn't look to be in full fitness. He's had some horror back injuries through the years. He always manages to play through them somehow. They'll have to drag him off the pitch before they get the ball out of his hand, I reckon. He'll get his 10 overs come hell or high water. Will Roelof van der Merwe. Maybe Nepal just slightly ahead at the end of the first power play, but the Dutch have a first breakthrough. It's 44 for 1. Kingma will continue into a 6th over. I had great pleasure